Hi guys, Sam back here. I'm gonna do some tutorials on some popular trends that you see on VSCO and maybe Instagram. So yeah, there's gonna be 4 types of effects that I'm gonna teach you guys in this little mini tutorial. It's gonna be putting stuff in the background, maybe behind a selfie or something. A little glitchy effect, like glitter on like your shoes or something that I always see, or photoshopping someone or yourself in different places. So when you load up Photoshop, the first thing you want to do is have your image right here. There's basically 2 ways to put something behind someone. The first way is by hitting this quick selection tool, clicking select subject. This is probably the easiest way. Once you get this, you hit Command J. That makes sure that this guy, Tyler the creator, is separate from the background. And I have these stars right here, and the only thing you got to do is resize. Oops, excuse me. Don't want to resize the person. Want to resize these stars, something like that, and just put it in between Tyler and the background. And that's one of the ways. The other way you can do it is, let's just delete this, by manually with the pen tool. You can manually select out a person. Say you only want the head, but you want everything else to be in front of him. You can do something like this. And then with the pen tool, you just right click, hit that, then go to make selection. Okay. Command J brings it up again. And then if you want text or something, you can do like Tyler the creator, resize that. You do something like this, and then you put it in between that, and you can see that half of it is behind them and then half of it in front. There's different ways to play around with this, of course, but yeah, you guys get the idea. So the second effect that I'm going to show you guys is the glitch effect that I see in VSCO a lot, or something like that. So when you load up your picture, this is a picture of Jeff Rosenstock. He's an artist and I've been really digging him lately. So the first thing you want to do is click on this layer, go to Image, Adjustments, desaturate the image, and then you can either hit Control J or you can go down here and hit that. That duplicates your layer. With this duplicated layer, you want to double click right here. These advanced blending modes, you want to hit this R channel, that's the red channel. Undo that and make sure this layer is selected, and you have the move tool selected. You want to hit Shift, and then you just want to nudge it whatever way you want, and you're going to get this cool effect like this. And another way that you can enhance this effect to make it more glitchy is you can just use this marquee tool and get areas you want, and then go back to this move tool and then shift that whichever way you want, and you can do that as many times as you want. Press Command D to deselect so you can make another one, and then you can do something like his hand right here. Go back to the move tool, shift nudge, that nudges that over. And then another thing you can do is making a little halftone to bring this effect into full art. So you want to make a new layer, and then to make that layer white, you want to hit Command Delete. That makes it white. And then you want to convert it to a smart object just in case you mess up in the filter and the filter gallery. And then you see I already have this halftone pattern, and you want to make sure it's on line. Make sure the size is either at 1 or 2, contrast being fully up. You see we have this is what we want. You want to change the blending mode from normal to overlay. That gives us that. See, that's a little too strong. Take down the opacity, put it at something like maybe 20 or 30%, and there you go. So for this next effect, we have the glitter effect. I have a picture of Frank Ocean right here, wearing this nice shirt. I don't know where he is, but one way you can do the glitter effect is by putting on like clothes or something. So I'm just gonna manually put this on his shirt. You see it's fully selected on his shirt. do Command J, make it separate. And once you have his shirt selected separately, I just found this glitter online. Just make sure it fully covers his shirt like this. And then holding Option, you see this little box comes up right here. Just left click and then you see it's on his shirt. That doesn't look very normal, that's just glitter on his shirt. So you want to change the blending mode, something like that, to multiply. Maybe bring the opacity down a little bit. Then you see we have that glitter effect. Then the last effect that I'll show you guys is photoshopping people into different places. So I just grabbed this picture of the street from the internet, and then there's this picture of Tupac from the internet as well. First thing you want to do when putting people in new places is making sure you know, it makes sense, making sure that they fit the scene. So I think that's appropriate height. And then another thing you want to do is probably make a new layer for his shadows. Put the brightness down like so. Use Command I to invert it. Press B for the brush tool. Make sure this box is white right here, and you can paint a little shadow like so. You can put it behind them so it doesn't affect anything from them. And this is just a rough tutorial. Obviously you would go more in depth. And say you made a mistake by putting a shadow like this, just press X on your keyboard and it goes to black on these little boxes, and then you can paint that away again. So after you make a shadow, see, it looks a little too light for the scene, so you want to go to exposure, make a little clipping mask like that. Bring the exposure down just a little bit because it's at nighttime. And then you see there's a lot of lights around him, so there's a red light coming this way and then a white light coming this way. So you have to account for that when putting a person in a scene. So making highlights of that person, one way you can do it is by making another exposure, clipping it to the person, bringing the exposure up a lot, then inverting using Command I, inverting it using the brush tool, making sure this is white right here, and then just painting the highlights to make it brighter on that side. And again, if you mess up, just hit X on your keyboard. That makes this square black. And you can just go back, make sure you really define that. And then for this side right here, you can see it's red light coming this way, so you want this side of his body to be like a red highlight. So one way you can do it is going to hue and saturation, make sure it's clipped to him, turn the lightness all the way up, turn the saturation all the way up, hitting colorize and then doing that again, and you see it turns red. But say it's like a blue tint or something, just move the slider to whatever side you want, but since it's already there, so you can't just leave them like this. You hit Command I again to invert it, and then you can just paint the red over here, making a highlight of here. And it makes sense because there's a red light going right here. And that's an in-depth way to Photoshop someone in a different background. Alright guys, thank you for watching this video. I was all over the place, I know. This is my first tutorial, so bear with me. But I hope you guys learned something. Like and subscribe. Thank you.